Okay. It would be nice if you would show me the screen. There we go. Alright. Sorry, we're running a few minutes behind today, as usual. So, it is Monday. We are needle felting today. Yet again. We are picking up where we left off with our Bob Ross needle felt project from yesterday. Yesterday we got the sky finished up, we got the mountains outlined, and we started filling in the mountains themselves. Today that's where we'll be picking back up. In the chat we have the link to the tutorial in full. We're gonna go ahead and pin that guy. So that way if anybody wants to go and see the tutorial in full, they can. Sorry for the mechanical noise in the background. I have a fan on. It's grossly warm in here. I think we'll have enough of this color, I hope. I mean, I've got more of it. I just hope I've got enough left. I hate wasting time on stream fluffing the yarn. But if we gotta, we gotta. Okay. And I do apologize for being sideways right now, but it's going to be the easiest way to deal with getting our mountains all filled in there. All right. And I apologize for the later start. There was something I wanted that was for sale on the sidewalk outside one of the junk stores. We went for our walk last night and we're like, oh, well, we'll go back today when they're open. And yes, I know it's Memorial Day, but some of the other junk stores were open today to get people that were off coming in. And these people were not. So I was like, damn it. What can you do? Not a whole lot, except for either give up trying to get it or just try to go back again tomorrow. Which is probably what we'll end up attempting to do. I do need to get a tiny patch in right here. It's just thin enough where I don't want it to be an issue when we're putting the trees in. Okay, so we will pop that into place there. Because, spoiler alert, there's like his footy hill trees, as he tends to call them. They're gonna come in through here to here. If you skipped ahead, then you know what's coming. Or if you've seen this one before. Alright. Oh, come back here. Fuzzy fuzz. No fuzz will go wasted here at the moment. At least not a solid color. I'm just trying to get up on the edge of our dark purple here and failing miserably. Because my aim is terrible. Definitely a me issue. So I hope everybody's having a good day. It is toasty out there for us already. Summer is definitely trying to officially start here. And I was just hitting that other side because there's a couple spots there that just looked like they needed a little more stabbing to them to me. All right. Today was such a hectic day, we didn't even get the guinea pigs cleaned yet. We'll have to get them tonight. They got food, but end up disrupting their routine tonight. It's either that or we just do it tomorrow. One more day won't be so big of a deal as long as they've got enough hay and stuff. So we used to go a little bit longer than that. So anybody doing anything fun today, this evening? Barbecues. Like I said yesterday, we're not doing any barbecuing. It's too hot. Much too hot. Alright. Let's work on getting this guy all filled in here. As best as we can. I might have to add a little bit more purple to this one, the dark purple. Just because that edge is being pretty fussy. I think that was an edge that I had kind of loose. Well, it's a good thing we hadn't put that color away yet. So now I don't have to go searching for it. Alright, now this is probably too big, right? Feast or famine? There we go, that's a little better. At least I think that's remedied that particular issue. Seems to have. Okay. For the moment. I'm gonna leave this out, or at least nearby. Just in case we need some more of that. All right. And let's work on getting the rest of this tapped on in here, for this one at least. Like, we might as well. This piece is going to be predominantly like greens and purples, with a little bit of brown tossed in there. Just a little bit. Let's see here. Let's work on getting this section. And we'll see how far we get today. Alrighty. That's not too bad. We're gonna have to overlap a little bit more to cover this section. Well, like, we don't have to, but we're going to. Essentially. That will fill that in pretty good. That's filling in pretty good. Got a little thin there. It happens sometimes. Yeah, so I'm gonna put just one more piece right in there, just a smaller piece. So that way we don't overshoot our target area. It happens. Alright, so about there-ish. We've got a little bit of a thin spot right here too, but I think that'll get dealt with the next strip coming in. Or at the very least it should. Get my head out of the way. Or try to at least. Okay. Should be good to move on to the next bit there. Hope everybody had a good weekend and that your week is getting off to an okay start. It's always helpful when it does that. Alright. It's not too bad. Sometimes with the water it helps tighten up our fluff a bit more so that we don't have too many thin spots being an issue. Alrighty. So I got this planning layout sketch that we did last week up on the YouTube channel. tonight I'll try to get the start of this guy put up over there, where we actually started to get the layout sketched onto the felt. And got going with it. Alright, just seeing if we had any spots specifically that needed attention yet. Doesn't look like it. At least like no immediate disaster problems. So that should be pretty easy going here until we hit this edge, which will be relatively soon. Although it should still not be too bad. Now if I worked in bigger pieces, then we might get done a little bit faster, but then my arm's gonna get quite a bit more tired. Let's see how we can get this section filled in here. We might need to add another piece up in there. Let's see how we do. Yeah, I'm gonna need to add another piece in here right along the edge. But that was pretty much inevitable. Where is everybody from? I grew up in New Jersey. Husband grew up in New Hampshire. And we are both currently living in Arkansas. Quite the difference from living in New Jersey. Sorry, I saw something that I needed to look at real quick. But, yeah, it's very different. We might be looking at heading back in that direction at some point. Maybe going a little bit further north. We've been back and forth about going to Florida, but I'm nervous about the hurricanes and the homeowners insurance, because it's getting really tough to get homeowners insurance down there. And if you don't have it and something happens, and you're right and properly fucked, you know? So I'm kind of hesitant. To do that. We originally wanted to be in Florida, so we were closer to be able to run down to Key West more often, but it might not be the best idea. For long-term stuff, so Houses are pretty stupid expensive down there right now. And my brother's having trouble selling his house, and he just dropped the price on it. He's having open houses almost every 2 weeks. And he's still not getting any takers. And it's a nice house. He's had a couple of lukewarm interests in it. But, no actual takers yet. Like, he installed a custom security system and everything. There's cameras everywhere. So that's what his side business was while he was a police officer, and even after he retired, he was still doing it for a while. There were times where he was running back and forth to New Jersey, installing cameras or dealing with maintenance. I'm not sure if he still has that business. He might have stopped because he didn't care for traveling back and forth to New Jersey so often. That's not too bad. You can see we are a little bowed out. Well, that could just be the tape, but we're hoping that the tape helps us keep a straighter edge. We'll see. It was just an idea. I'm not so sure it's gonna, but because the fiber and the felt are gonna do what the fiber and the felt are gonna do, essentially. So, you know. Alright, I'm gonna turn this guy upside down. I know we've been spinning him in all different directions. Creaky chair.
Sorry.
I'm so scared for you in that chair now, because it sounds like it's just gonna... Yeah, I know. I mean, you definitely got your money's worth out of that one.
Yeah, had it for a long time.
Yeah, because yours is older than mine. I don't know. It didn't come from New Jersey. I'm pretty sure you replaced it at least once since we've been here.
Yes, I've replaced it once.
And that's not too bad.
No, it's really not.
I might add another little bit of purple, dark purple. Oh, needle flexed there. I feel like this needle's gonna need to get replaced soon. I might have to add a little bit more of the dark purple on this upper edge. We'll see. We'll see. It's a little thin. I didn't want a real thick line there, but we'll see. We'll know soon enough here. Might just be easier to just go ahead and add that in after we get this section filled in around the top. What I should have done was made it a little bit thicker than I wanted it, and then used the lighter purple here to overlap and thin it down. That's what I should have done. That would have made this a little bit easier, but brain forgot to think of that as we were putting stuff in, so dang it, brain. I tried to get some editing done last night, but cranky doggo was being cranky, so I didn't get nearly as much done as I wanted to. We couldn't tell if he was just mad or if he was mad that I wasn't in bed. It could have been either, because there's been times where he's like, I want to go to bed, therefore everybody should be in bed. So we're just gonna thicken this edge up a bit. As much as we can. Our fiber layer is pretty thick in there. see if I can get this filled in the way it should be. Alright, and I'll tell you what, I know that this one edge is gonna be a problem. I can feel it already, so we're just gonna try to deal with that now. Okay. So if I get you tucked into here. Let's see, hopefully this will keep it from being too fussy when we bring the light purple on over to this side. Hopefully. We will see. But I think that'll be a little bit easier, so that means I'm probably gonna need to fill out that edge just a touch, just a touch. That's too much. That should be good. We might have to trim this piece. It's going to be a little bit long. Oh wait, I forgot to zoom us back in. That's what's weird. I'm looking at this thinking something was a little off. Oh, no, that's out of focus. Are we out of focus? That's pretty clear. How does that look fuzziness-wise to you? Can you check this stream?
Yeah.
Does that look like it's in focus?
Yeah, it's pretty much in focus.
Okay. I forgot that we had zoomed in. So, this speed felt's gonna be at different zooms. I forgot to save the zoom. I was getting started setting everything up. I'm like, it looks different. Okay. And I'm just gonna snip that tiny bit off. And then we'll just tack down where we snipped. Alright. That should make the rest of this a little less painful. to get our lighter purple in here. We'll get this guy. Worked into here. All right. And that should be pretty good in there. So did you spot clean the pigs at all today, or did you just throw? Did you spot clean, or did you just throw everything in?
I just put fresh food in.
Okay. I mean, we didn't used to spot clean before.
Yeah.
I think they'll be okay if we just clean them tomorrow. We just make sure they've got enough.
Well, we'll see how we're doing tonight. If I can, I want to.
So I think before we were doing it, what, every 3 days? Instead of every 2?
Well, I definitely think we should keep doing every 2.
Well,
By
yeah.
default.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't work out, then, you know, it's not the end of the world, but by default we should aim for every other day, and I definitely think we should keep spot cleaning. If only because it's something to do while we're giving them all pig time.
Yeah, and it'll have us in there and getting them.
Yeah. I just think it's not a crisis if we don't get it done.
Yeah. Like, while we're gone, your mom might only be doing every 3 days. Just she'll have to really keep an eye on Cal and Peabody.
Yeah, we'll go over that with her.
Repeatedly. And I want her to help us clean them a couple times before we leave, if she's back in time. Or at least once before we leave. Depends on how soon she gets back. Excuse me. Because I have a feeling she would prefer to follow the RV so she can sleep there, instead of having to get a hotel room.
Sorry, what was that?
I said I have a feeling she's going to be following the RV back so she can sleep there, because she has her car.
I mean, without good reason, I assume that's what she's going to be doing.
Well, it depends on how willing her traveling partner is to coming down by a specific time.
They agreed to come down here. It should be fine.
Have you even heard from her?
My mother?
Yeah.
A couple times.
When she hasn't been asking about the mail?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You had to tell her we had had to have the plumbers come out again. Every time it's different guys. I mean, I guess it's good that they've got a multitude of specialists, I suppose. But I also feel weird because I'd like to develop some kind of rapport with them, but at least their fees are no bullshit, so flat fee without having to worry about a problem cropping up.
Well, okay, there's no guarantee that they give a flat fee. It's just that every time that they've been here, they've given us an estimate and they've kept to it.
Yeah.
Which in itself is telling, because I know for a fact that the replacement stuff went over, like, from their normal expectations, but they still stuck to their estimate. So.
Which replacement? Oh, the sewer line?
Yeah. The outlines.
Yeah, those.
I know that ran over because they didn't realize that they had, like, the big ass pipe going up the middle of our house.
Well, we didn't know it either, to be perfectly fair. We had no idea that there was a cast iron pipe going. This house has been full of surprises. And not the good kind. Hopefully, if we end up changing locations, we can get something that's not quite as problematic to repair when the inevitable goes wrong. But it's not just our house that has questions of why, because I've been looking at photos of other places in different areas, and I found quite a few of head tilting scratches where I'm like, that was a decision. Like, I don't understand the thought process behind this, but okay. Alright, so we're just working on filling in the interior of our mountains, and it is a little slow going. I'm not gonna pretend it's not. It is. But it's just, you have to transfer it as to, well, we'd still be working on the sky then, if we didn't have these guys. So, kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of another. It is a little bit of a slow medium. I won't pretend it's not. At least for me it is. And we are also working on a larger piece than some people do. A lot of people will work on a smaller size with this stuff. We are working on an area in an area, I guess, that's approximately 8 by 10, so it's a little bit bigger. Like, a lot of the ones I've seen, people tend to lean towards like 5 by 7. And that would allow you to produce a little bit faster, more than likely, because smaller surface to cover. But I felt like for these, they needed to be a little bit bigger. As we were building up our confidence. Let's pop you up. I'm just gonna re-brush you down. We're gonna see how we're doing here. Alright, we're not doing too bad. I do have a spot here that I want to fill in down here at the bottom. We had a slight thin spot there. Like in between where the two pieces were meeting, so we'll just go ahead and fill that in. And like this line didn't have to be super straight because we're gonna have the trees covering it, but I just wanted to try to keep it kind of straight, because if I don't have some kind of guideline in there, I'll have it like going crooked halfway down the thing. Be like, why are we so off here? Alright, so we're not doing too bad. I think we're looking pretty good there. Alright, we need some more fluff and stuff. So I also need to find time to refill our fluff bags. At least on the colors that we've used so far. So our blue, we need to top that off. Oh, uh-oh. There it is. I thought it hit the floor. I was like, oh no. The fluff hit the floor. The fluff hit the floor. That's Dust Bunny Central down there. Really need to get the vacuum. It's like just my area rug, so I don't always think about it. Because the rest of the floors in our room at least are like some kind of vinyl or something. Must have been whatever my other desk was made out of, because we dripped some water on there, I think from one of the dog bowls, and it peeled up a little bit, whatever the cover was on it. Hi, Momo.
Give me a minute, buddy.
Do I need to?
No, I just gotta get you there.
Okay, hold on, Mose. Daddy's gonna get you. Like, we went on a whole tour of the yard when we got started, but that was an hour ago, and he's having bladder issues, so... And he didn't get his grass time yet today. You stay away from that road, buddy. We really probably should shorten that leash a little bit.
It's not enough for them to actually reach the road, hon. I've tested it, it's fine.
Okay. Alright, we're not doing too bad. This is a little bit from when we were doing the sky. There's a little bit of purple from when we were edging. But this particular color is not being too bad unless I just can't see it. Which is entirely possible. It's just blending in with everything else. Alright. So let's see here. Work on something like that. Start filling in our empty area. Although I kind of lost sight of the... Oh, okay. It's a bigger empty area than I realized. That's okay. So this color is called Vintage Heather. Feels more like a mauve to me. But, you know, to each their yarn naming own. I didn't name it. We were gonna stop by the shaved ice stand. After we ran our errand, and they weren't open yet. And they didn't have any hours posted on the outside of it. I would have figured for a holiday they would have been open, as hot out as it is. Kind of surprised by that. There was several people there last night when we walked by, but we didn't get anything then because we didn't have any money on us. Husband left his wallet at home. We have a heck of a time catching that place open. Alright. Let's see if this will be enough to finish filling in this section. We might need one more small bit. Have to take a look here when we get this piece filled in. See how it goes. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so we need to fill in a little bit right in here, kind of in between the two. Actually, let's kind of beef that one up just a little bit. It's sort of an awkward spot to fill in here. Without clipping our crevice too much. That's not so bad. That filled in pretty good. I mean, we still need another little piece there going across. But, you know, we're almost filled in on those guys. So that's not so bad. Got a piece of fuzz on my water bottle. Just trying to make sure I wasn't swallowing it. Okay. So, we probably need a small chunk here to, at the very least, finish filling in this bottom bit here. And then whatever we end up doing up top here should cover most of this angle. Just wanted to make sure we've got that like evened off a bit. As best as we can. Okay. I'm gonna grab this piece. I'm gonna kind of thin him out just a little bit. I missed a little tiny bit on the corner there. Alright. So we'll work on getting this section filled in against our outline. We've got a little bit more room to work with on that edge. Since we made it a little bit thicker. I think down in here I might need to add a little bit more though. I think I've got a little bit of the gray trying to show up there. Let's see what going at it from this angle is gonna do for us. Probably not much. In the grand scheme of things. But sometimes you can see things a little bit differently, depending on the angle you are viewing them from. So it doesn't hurt to take a look from a different side. Every so often. Okay. Alright, so we'll get this edge filled into here. The boys are back. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong?
I was debating if it was easier to use the hose or just use the jug.
It depends on what you're watering. Just doing the buckets, it's probably easier to do the jug. If you're doing everything, then the hose. Okay. Sounds like he decided to go with the hose. Okay. So let's see about getting this guy filled on in up into here. Like, as long as we don't have any gray or blue poking through, we'll be all good. I might have a little bit of blue on the edge of our mountain here, which is kind of maddening. Yeah, that's gonna bother me. Alright, so I'm gonna grab another little piece of purple, dark purple. And try to fill that in, because it's bugging me. When in doubt, patch it out, right? If it's a bother, add a dollop of color. We can fix it. It's possible. I just didn't want to have to get that color out again, but it looks like I'm gonna need to. I have a tiny bit of it. Is it gonna be enough, though? Probably not, but we'll see. As long as we can get the majority of what was bugging me filled in. And that's really all that is gonna matter for the most part. Alright, that might work out. We'll see how we go getting the rest of this filled in here. Just had a water drop on the desk, figured we might as well scoop that up. Right? Might as well. Contact paper's fairly clean on here. We've got a couple of paint dollop stains on it, but you know, all in all, this pattern choice wasn't so bad. Was everything looking kind of wilty?
Huh? No, not particularly.
Oh, okay.
But you don't water when they look wilty, you water to keep them from being
Yeah.
wilty.
Did you soak the elephant ears real good?
Pretty well.
So I think our next bit of rain isn't until Wednesday night or Thursday. Potentially. Alright, so we've got another little, well, two little sections here. Maybe three. We'll call it three. That we need to fill in a bit more. We'll start with this one. Along the edge in here. Just to make sure. Oh, actually, I might have another spot up there too. I'll probably just put a little bit of something on that just to ensure. Yeah. It happens. Sometimes the fiber just gets a little... Oh, I've actually got two spots there. Got more spots than I realized. Okay. Sometimes it just gets a little thinned out. As the needle is stabbing through. Or maybe I just didn't have it thick enough when I put our piece down. Probably more column B than column A. Column B is probably the root column A is probably the root cause of column B. More than likely. Alright, so I've got another spot like right in there. He's hard to see. Didn't notice him at first. So we're gonna go ahead and get that filled in. Or we're gonna try to. Hopefully I've managed to hit the target area. I think we have. Excuse me. Alright. Momo.
Momo, don't even.
Momo, you were just outside for quite a while with Dad.
Momo.
Why don't you come over to Dad? You'll
No,
get
don't
cuddles.
stare at Mommy. Come here. Come here. You know, if you want cuddles, you gotta come here.
Momo, you gotta get in the other dog bed.
You walked away from the cuddles. That's your fault.
Momo, other bed for pets. It's the only way we can get down to you easier.
There's my Here's my
It's not time for dinner yet. We still have a little bit to go for dinner. You have at least an hour and a half, buddy. And that's at the earliest. Oh, goodness me. Alright. Getting this worked into here. So we're gonna go up to the vet's office tomorrow and see if we can get some more of that prescription food. Hopefully they have some. Last time we ordered it, it didn't take that long to come in. I think it was like a day, 2 days. Oh no, they had some, they just didn't know where it was, and then they found it later. That's what it was. Okay, I think one more spot ought to do us. On this color. Potentially. So the S written on the tape, for anybody that wasn't here when we were setting everything up, is for my sky horizon, basically. Where I wanted the sky and the mountain to cut off. And then the H's are like ground horizon line. Where our other trees are gonna sit, or where the last row of trees are gonna sit. we have to figure out that mess next. Alright, that looks... Nope, missed another spot. Really? This section's just being all sorts of cranky. Or I'm just being stingy. I don't know which. It could be either. I didn't think I was being that stingy with it. Unless it's just getting thin spots on top of thin spots as we are adding and filling other sections, which, you know, I have had that happen before. That's not a big surprise. You know, as you're stabbing into one section, you're pulling the fibers that got stabbed into another, and so it's kind of a tug and more back and forth at times with all of the layers. Okay, that's pretty good there. Alright, I think we might be done with that color. Momo. Is he standing behind me again?
No, he's in bed. No, you're not getting nothing.
It's not dinner time yet, my guy.
Not yet.
Alright, so I think those three colors were good. Alright, now we're going to advance the tutorial a little bit.
I think that might be a bird.
Huh?
Might be a bird.
I don't know, that sounded like it was coming from him.
Oh,
That's him.
What? You ain't getting nothing right now, pal. Lay down.
Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll advance our tutorial a bit. And he's gonna make some different shades of purple. So, is Grammy even up?
Not the point.
Okay, so he's making a bit of a darker purpley color. So we've got 3 different shades of trees, 4 different shades of trees we're gonna pop into here. So he's got this darker row here, right? Ooh, don't want to do that. I need my PC tower. So he's kind of got like our teardrop shapes coming in back in there. See, then he like pounced out the bottom. And then that gave it that mist effect, right? But I can't really pounce out the bottom of fluff. So, really? He didn't take them all the way across? It looked like they were all the way across in the final piece. Did I just not see it correctly? Oh, he added green to that section. Did I miss C? Oh, okay. That's what it was. Alright. Because when we're looking at the finished piece, it's hard to see what he's done to get to that point. Alright, so he's like flicking up to give like mist or fog or whatever back in there. Okay, that's great, Bob, but I need to see. So he didn't take it all the way over then. I thought he did. I think we might take ours all the way across just for simplicity's sake. Alright, well, he's just moving right along here. Alright, so, nope, too far, or not back far enough. Okay, so we are gonna pause that right about, we might have to, can we get a pulled out shot, please? That's not 3/4? Thank you. Why didn't you pause? Okay. So, I'm gonna take our trees all the way across, I think. I know we've got the other trees happening over here in the finished one, but I'll feel better if we take those, like, far away piney trees all the way over. Now, I picked out 3 different colors of purple for these because he has that misty plane in between and it looks like a different shade. But I'm not going to be able to really do the misty plane and have it look right, so we're going to add in a 3rd row of trees, just in a lighter color to separate the front ones and the back ones. So, let me check my notes for how we wanted to do this. Okay, so we were doing super dark far away. Medium. Okay, so the very back row is going to be our dark aubergine. So, let me dig through our bucket. The fluff is escaping the bucket. Oh, that's not dark aubergine. That's brown. Where are you? Is this here? There you are. Okay. Everybody else can get back in the bucket for now. Almost has like a blue violet feel to it, or like a real deep royal purple. Alright, so we're gonna kind of make our teardroppy trees, and I have to figure out how thick we want these boys to be and where exactly we want them to live, right? So they don't need to be too, so that's gonna be that color, I think. And we've got the other one, and then the other one. That might be a little tall. to get all of them in here. Alright, let's try about there-ish. Oop, let go. Let's kind of see. So that started getting a little bit skinnier. It's not bad though. Not too bad. And like there's spots where we can have a little bit of backgrounds poking through on these, because you know, trees. Some trees are a little bit fuller than others. It's not too bad. That was quite a bit of fluff for that tree though. And we have to think about varying heights and stuff. So how about that guy being about there? And you know, the tops are going to be a little chaotic. Unless you really want to get in there and have at it. But I kind of think the slightly more chaotic tops is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, not really. Now I'm going to try to keep the bottoms kind of filled in as best as we can. It might get a little difficult as we go. Just because we're going to have the other tree layers coming through here, right? So a little bit of fluff. And we can kind of shape these as they're going in. But each one of these guys will most likely look a little bit different. Some might be a little more fuller than others. And that's okay. That happens. Happens with fluff and it happens with real trees, so. Alright, so we got that in there. So it's kind of like making our fluff snakes, right? Except the more fuller end, we're gonna kind of fold up under itself a bit. To try to get like, kind of like a teardrop shape. Kinda, sorta. So I'm not taking these guys down too far because we've got a few more rows of trees that I want to work into here. And we kind of want to keep these straight if we can. I mean, you know, not all trees grow straight. We know this, right? So, but we want to try to at least keep them from getting sideways, put it that way. And again, that's just a little bit of water I've got there. Alright, this guy's gonna be a little bit thinner. A little bit shorter. Oh goodness, no, 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 no. You're a little too thin. How about we flip you around then? Like, I don't mind you being shorter, but we need some short trees. Not every tree is the same height. but at the same time, I needed you a little bit fuller at the top. Now I noticed that a little bit of background coming through, you know, fine, whatever. But that one, I might fill in. Because I need some degree of solidity here. I don't think we've used this color yet. I think this is the first time we're using this color. So that's fun. Ah, get over there. I think I can see a few thin spots, like more thin than I wanted it to be. Now we have our other tree rows, right? And they're gonna come in on top of these. So I might be able to get them placed in such a way that that's not too much of an issue, but I can't guarantee that I'm gonna be able to. Right? So that one guy's a little too much like Swiss cheese. It doesn't really show on the camera. But in person, this guy's got a little too much air happening here. Looked like he got into a fight. And we don't want that, so. Well, I will say, the bottom of my trees here are getting a little uneven. So we will just kind of even those guys out a bit. And I'm paying attention to that because we've got the other row of trees, and I don't know what's going to shine through that next row. But it's easier now just to kind of fill that in and take care of it ahead of time. Alright, so we've got one more. Yeah, you know what? We'll not thin you down too much, so that way we don't have to come back and thicken you up later. Alright, so I'm going to have you right on the edge of our tape here. We will put your top about there. And we'll kind of get you worked in right along the edge of this here. Okay, we're gonna have to add just a little bit more to that spot there. Just to kind of fill him in. He's a little too airy for my liking. Okay, that's a bit better. All right. It's not so bad right in there. Okay. So our next bit of tree, he's a little bit of a tall guy, it would seem. He wants to be a tall guy. Our tree line is all sorts of, like the bottom of it is all sorts of disheveled hair. And we can come back in and level that out. As we go, because I mean we just kind of did there a second ago. Although all that fussing to get that outline fixed down there, and well, we're just plunking a tree down over it. Probably won't take the next few trees quite so high. Probably. All right. So we're not looking too bad there. We've got that section getting filled in. I think we might pause there for today, though. It being a holiday weekend and all, and Doggo's wanting some attention, so I think we're at a good pause point. So today we finished filling in the mountain and we got started on our back tree line. So I'm gonna continue this all the way over. He didn't come quite all the way over. I think I'm going to, just for simplicity's sake, because it's just easier that way than to have to fix it later. So, and we've got this color, we've got a lighter purple, and then like a medium purple. I wanted the lighter purple in between the two. And then we've got like another row of green shrubbery. I might not take them as tall, I might keep them tiny or more rounded or whatever coming in on that back row. And then we've got, you know, the rest of the ground to work in on our way down. So, you know, we're getting there. I might move this line up just a little bit. We can do that. It kind of depends on how much I space out the next couple rows of trees. We'll see how that goes. But so far, I think we're looking okay. And it's certainly an adventure in purple on this one. But yeah, so next stream will be on Thursday. And we'll be back in the afternoon working on Coral Island. And seeing, we still need to get our town rank up. We're still at town rank C. So we need to make some more friends. We need to work on our offering. We need to get some more farm animals so we can work on the other offerings that we're still missing. But we definitely need to get our friendship points up, because I think they're the ones that have the recipes that we're missing. There's also, like, you can attempt to figure out what you need to make other recipes. You can learn them by happenstance. We might have to look some up if we can't figure them out or get the friendship points, but I think we just need to, you know, hand out some of our stockpiled gifts that we've been putting them away to hand out, and I've been like, no, I don't want to give them up, but we either need to sell them or hand them out because they're taking over. But yeah, we've got all kinds of stuff going on there. We're almost done in spring. Almost, not quite. We're getting there. We've got a few days left of spring 2, our second spring. And Friday, I promise we'll try to get back into Planet Zoo. Apologize again for having to cancel that this past weekend, but life happened. Saturday, I don't know what we're doing yet Saturday. It might be a doodle. I have to test some markers to see how water resistant they are. So we might be doing a doodle, or we might just do a different acrylic painting, maybe with some of our stencils. We'll see how that's gonna go. But yeah, so I will see you all later this week. Have a good week. Hope it is a good one. And until next time, you guys.